Now from Place Ministries, another inspirational moment. Welcome back to Your Place.
Proverbs 22:6 says, "Train up a child in the way he should go. Even when he is old, he'll not depart from it." Several years ago when I was writing the Place curriculum, I called up my friend, my mentor, Dr. F.B. Huey, who happens to also be one of the translators of the New International Version, New American Standard versions of the Bible. And I called him and I said, "Dr. Huey, I'm wanting to use Proverbs 22:6 in some curriculum I'm developing, but would you help me know what the proper translation of that verse is?" He said, "Jay, the proper translation of that verse is, train up a child according to their bent. In other words, Jay, according to the way God made them." He said, sadly, so many times it's been used to say, train up little Johnny, little Susie in the ways of God, and if they depart, then eventually they'll come back to God. And he said, that's just not the proper translation. So here's a question. If it is important for a parent to know the bent of their child according to the way God made them, wouldn't you agree that as adults that it's important for you and I to know what our bent is? See if I can explain it to you in a story. It's a true story, by the way. I sat down several years ago with a young man. He said, "I'm 32 years old. I make $150,000 a year. I have a wife and 2 kids. We spend $152,000 a year. I hate my job. I want to be a high school teacher." So we sat down for the next 2 to 3 hours and talked about what he'd need to change, how he'd have to bring his lifestyle down, what type of schooling that he would need to get in order to be able to do what he felt his bent was, and that was to be a high school teacher. He didn't end up taking my advice. He ended up getting a promotion in his company. They moved him across the country, doubled his salary, and very sad, the last I heard, he and his wife were separated and on the verge of divorce. So again, let me ask you that question. Why is it important to know yourself? Why do you need to know your bent? It is in knowing your bent, the way God created you, that you will find your place in life and ministry. Do you know your bent?
Your Place is a weekday devotional from Place Ministries. Our focus is helping followers of Christ know how and why God created them, and be encouraged to do what God created them to do in life and ministry. For a list of free resources, go to placeministries.org and join us every weekday right here at Your Place.